Hello Year 9, this is Mr. McGettigan and I'm going to be going through another lesson with you today. Today is Friday, I think. It's one of those strange situations. It's like that between Christmas and New Year. You don't really know what day is what, where you are, all that kind of stuff. I just wish I was back in school. Anyway, stop rambling, Mr. McGettigan. Right, so we're going to continue to look at the death penalty. We're going to use an article today. There is an article on your Show My Homework assignment that I would like you to have open in front of you while we go through this lesson. It's very, very important that we use that article as we go through. Your title, and I'd like you to write this down please, is Learning Skimming and Scanning Skills for Fiction and Non-Fiction Language. Okay, write that title down now please. So, whilst you've written down the title, our first opening task today is there is a list of 5 different crimes on the screen right now. We have theft, manslaughter, GBH, which is grievous bodily harm, which is really harming someone by hitting them or by attacking them, murder, and computer hacking. I would like you to think about this question. Do any of the above crimes deserve the death penalty in your view? Do any of these deserve the death penalty in your view? And I would like you to write down your answer and give an explanation as to why or why not. You can pause this video now while you write down the title and do that task, please. Okay, so we're going to go on. So we're going to be looking at 2 skills this lesson. We're going to be looking at skimming and scanning. Now these are reading skills. So you're going to be doing some reading, but you're not necessarily, when you're doing skimming and scanning, going to be reading every word in detail. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on as we go through the lesson. Bear with me just one second. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Okay, so the first skill we're going to be looking at is skim reading. Now, skim reading is a type of fast reading, and we use skim reading all the time, okay? We use skim reading to read through a text quickly to get the gist, to get the main point of what is happening within the text. Okay, and we use skimming all of the time in lots of different areas of our lives. We use skimming to see what's in the newspaper or on a website, to browse through a book to see if you want to read it, look through a TV guide to see what's on the evening, if we're flicking through a catalogue to see what's on offer, look through the options given on a Google search to see what sites it suggests. We use skimming all of the time. We don't read in detail, but we just kind of look at it and we read it very quickly just to see, right, I know what that's about. And make a decision as to whether we want to read it in more detail. Okay, now skimming is an excellent exam skill. It's a really, really useful skill for you guys to learn and to practice regularly, because it can help you in your exams to get an idea of the text before you start to read and respond to the questions. And you can quickly familiarize yourselves with the main subject of the text. You can read what it's about very quickly without going into lots and lots of detail in your reading. It will help you when you're looking at certain areas of a text in greater detail. So having a basic idea of what the text is about before you go in detail gives you a background of information, a background of knowledge and understanding about whatever it is you are reading. Okay? Now, I would like you to that's skimming. We're now going to look at scanning, okay? And we're going to practice it. I'm going to go through a few steps for you to have a look at, okay? The first thing I would like you to do is go to the article that is on Show My Homework, open it up if you haven't got it open already, and go to the second page of the article, okay? Do that now. You have 30 seconds to find the answer to this question. Okay, so you're looking at the second page of the article. You've got 30 seconds to find the answer to this question. And the question is this. What is the Iranian nickname for methamphetamine, which is a drug? What is the Iranian nickname for methamphetamine? Find the answer to that question in 30 seconds. Go. Okay, so were you able to find the answer to this question in 30 seconds? Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. If you were, I would imagine what you did was you scanned the article, okay? And you probably didn't read the whole page in detail. You probably just looked for, when trying to find the answer to the question, what words were you looking for? So you were probably looking for specific keywords, Iranian nickname or methamphetamine. You might have been looking for those keywords. This is scanning. That is what scanning is. When you're looking for keywords so that then you can read around those words and find out bits of information. It's searching for keywords or phrases for a particular response. Okay. And the answer is, oh, it's not my own dearest and best. It's shisha. Okay. Shisha is the answer. Okay. Which is the Iranian nickname for methamphetamine. All right. So we've just gone through two different skills there. We've gone through skimming, which is basically fast reading a text, looking at it very briefly and finding out what the key gist is, what are the main points of the text, and scanning, which is looking for specific words, phrases, or information within a text. Okay. Now, we are going to be thinking and looking at some challenging vocabulary today. Okay, now I don't want you to be scared by that. A lot of times when English students are reading a text, they read words that they don't understand and then they go, no, don't get it. I don't get it. Don't get it. And in class, I'll often ask, well, what don't you get? And they'll say, I don't know what that word means. And that then becomes the reason that they don't understand anything. And it's just not the case. Okay, it's just not the case. If you don't get a word, then one thing that we can do is try and find out or work out what that word might mean. So a good way of working out their meaning is to read the sentence in full and make an educated guess on what that word means. You'll be surprised how many times you're correct or close to being correct. A way of doing this is working out, is this word I'm looking at a verb, or is it a noun, or is it an adjective? What other words are around it that might make sense? So let's say I said the extra tomatoes in the bowl were superfluous. Now you guys might think, well, I don't know what superfluous means. But I've used the word extra in that sentence, and actually the extra tomatoes in the bowl were superfluous. Superfluous we know is an adjective because we're saying the tomatoes were superfluous, so we're using a word to describe that. And actually superfluous means more than we need. Okay. That's what we mean. So when you're looking at challenging vocabulary, it's very, very important for you guys to think, well, I don't know what that means, but I can guess, or I can take a guess. You must believe that you can find meaning in words that you don't know, okay, without the use of a dictionary. This is, if you approach texts with that attitude, you will find when you go into GCSE, when you're reading the novels and plays at GCSE and you're preparing for the English language GCSE, that you are in a much better position than those people that go, no, don't get it, don't understand it, there's 3 or 4 words there I didn't get, so the whole thing is lost on me, blah, blah, blah. All right? If you think that you can't find that meaning, then you won't find that meaning. If you think that you can, you might. Okay? So we're going to move on now. What I would like you to do is now read the article, Iranian man who survived execution must be hanged again, judges say, which is the title of, or the headline of the news article. I would like you to read this article, and either on the Word document, you can do this, or you can print it and you can do these tasks with pen. I would like you, in one colour, highlight or underline any information about the death penalty in Iran. So when you find out any information about the death penalty in Iran, underline that or highlight it. In another colour, highlight or underline the information you're given about the man and his family. So whenever we hear about the man, whenever we hear about his family, highlight or underline that information in a different colour. I would like you to put a star next to any vocabulary that you are unsure about, but I would like you to also try and write down what you think that word might mean. Okay? I would like you to do that now, please. Pause this video and carry out these tasks. Okay. So, once you've finished, I would like you to write down a few sentences answering these questions at the bottom of the screen. Obviously, don't discuss it with the person next to you. I want you to write this down. What is your opinion of this man's case? Do you agree that he deserved the death sentence? Do you think that he deserves to be re-hanged? So this is you just now kind of processing the article that you've just read. You might need to go back to it, reread a little bit more. And answer those questions for me, please. Year 9. Okay, so we're going to move on now. So some of the unfamiliar vocabulary that you might have found within the article, I'm going to go through with you now. This isn't all of the unfamiliar vocabulary. I don't know what vocabulary is unfamiliar to you, but these are words that I would guess might cause some problems if you don't know what it means. I would like you to have made an estimated guess on what they mean in your annotation, but that's if you haven't done that, here's what they mean. So the first one, gallows, which is a structure typically of 2 uprights and a crosspiece for the hanging of criminals. So it's where it's one of those kind of structures that they hang a noose around, a big bit of rope where they hang people. Okay, that's gallows. A morgue is a mortuary, which is another word for it, where dead bodies are kept before burial or cremation. Judicial, relating to the administration of justice. Now, we've got words here in the article which are judicial, and there's also judiciary, which very much share the same meaning. Okay. The judicial is relating to the administration of justice, and the judiciary is the system which administers justice. So you can see that they're very, very similar words. They come from the same word family, and they're all about the administration, the dealing out of justice. Okay. We have inauguration, which is the beginning or introduction of a system, policy, or period. And we have imminent, which means about to happen. So you might have identified earlier on when you were reading the article some of these words, and hopefully you will have put some guesses as to what they mean. This is their true meaning, and hopefully you will have seen that actually with that challenging vocabulary, if you make a guess, you can get it there or thereabouts. All right, so never be afraid of making a guess. Certainly in class, sir, does this mean that? I'll always say, good guess. I love it when students in my class take a punt, put up their hand, say, "Sir, I don't know what this words mean. Does it mean this?" Guessing is always very good, even if you get it wrong, because you're trying hard to find the meaning of the vocabulary. Okay, so I would like you to now skim and scan the article, and I want you to find answers to these 4 questions. Which hospital was Alireza taken to? I apologise for my pronunciation of that name. What is the name of the state-run national newspaper? Under Iranian law, what 2 conditions can delay the death penalty? And in what way is Europe said to be contributing to the Iranian campaign against drug use? So I don't want you to read in detail the whole article again. I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is skim and scan the article and try and find the keywords or phrases that might help you in answering these 4 questions. Pause the video and do that now, please. Okay, so we are now going to move on. Okay, I want you to think about and write a paragraph answering this question. Was the decision to rehang Alireza justified? Was it justified? Was there a proper reason? Was it the right thing to do? That's what that word justifies means. In your answer, you must support your points with information or quotes from the text, write in a formal style at all times, give a balanced view which acknowledges both sides of the argument, do the basics, paragraphs, correct spelling and appropriate punctuation. Okay, and your challenge, if you really want to push yourself, is refer to the arguments for and against that we did last lesson. Okay, there's a sentence starter, or there's something to get you started at the bottom of the page here. In my opinion, the decision to rehang Alireza cannot be justified. I agree with Amnesty International's comments that demonstrates a lack of humanity. This is because, and then you're off and going. Okay, so there's a sentence starter for you to get you going. You don't have to use that, but that is something that might help you just start your writing piece. Okay, that is all from me now, year 9. I hope you're all well. I would like you to write that that opinion piece as the last piece of information, last piece of work that you do for this lesson, and you should spend about 20 to 30 minutes writing that. So it's a few paragraphs. I said earlier 1 paragraph. Actually, what I mean is a few paragraphs. I want you to write in paragraphs. 3 or 4, I would say, would really help you. Okay, I hope you are all staying safe. I hope you are all staying well and keeping up with the work that we're setting you on Show My Homework. Speak to you all very soon. Bye-bye.